I've always loved shooting landscapes. There's something about capturing the beauty of nature, the untouched areas of the planet. Something that just speaks to me and just keeps me going back. My name's Christian James and I'm a photographer filmmaker, mostly focused on landscapes and capturing the quiet corners of the earth. In the depths of the West Yorkshire countryside, you'll find a very secluded spot home to an old, beaten, abandoned farmhouse, which is actually thought to be the inspiration for Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. Top Withens. I mean, what a place. Not only is it renowned for its association with Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights, one of 3 famous Bronte sisters, but it's just somewhere that I'd really wanted to go, but I'd never actually made the trip. But then when I did, it was more than worth it. I got up around 5 a.m. and put on layers on layers on layers, and I'm talking a pair of joggers, plus a pair of joggers, plus a t-shirt, plus a hoodie, plus a jumper, plus a big puffer jacket, a North Face at that, so even more warm. To say I was prepared with the outfit would be an understatement. We drove halfway there and ventured up to Top Withens via Stanbury in the complete pitch black. Like, literally, you could not see a thing. The walk up there was quiet. It was literally pitch black. I had to use a torch to see where I was going. Like, there was nothing in sight. The intense feeling of being alone and surrounded by nothing was at the forefront of my mind the entire way. The thought of also, if I fall or hurt myself in any way where I can't move, then that's me done. There's no phone signal, there's no light, there's no one around, there's no houses, there's literally nothing. It's very desolate up there, so it was eerie and daunting, even on the walk up there. But then, slowly but surely, the sun did start to come up, although it was shining through a blanket of cloud. As we were walking and the sun was coming up, you could just see, you could make out the silhouette of the house and the tree and everything. And that's when the first feeling of that euphoria started to come in, that excitement, because this is somewhere I'd always wanted to go and I'd always seen pictures of it. So then just seeing it in person, it was like weirdly like seeing a celebrity. We finally arrived there, and honestly, I cannot describe the feeling you get when you're up there.
So I've got a composition here, and it's alright, but I don't think it's the one. Do you get me?
Yeah. What, the one that you're doing right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got time then.
Yeah, what time is it now? So it's currently 7 minutes past 7 and sunrise is at 20, something like 20 past. And oh my light, it's clouded over a fair bit.
After setting up and taking a few shots, I thought I'd got the shot that I wanted. It was definitely the right composition, but the sky was not how I always envisioned it. So I was a bit disheartened, I was a bit let down. I wasn't very satisfied with the picture I got.
Bit more of a vantage point.
There's nothing in sight other than grass, rolling hills, trees. There's no man-made thing in sight other than this beaten abandoned farmhouse. The feeling you get is sort of a feeling of very somber. There's a slight feeling of loss there. And maybe because you're surrounded by literally nothing but grass, but it really makes you feel like you're alone with your thoughts. So, I mean, if Emily Bronte did venture up here, I can see why. being around the structure itself, being around the building, the farmhouse, there's quite a ghostly feeling. Not scary, not scary in the slightest, just a feeling that history has happened here. Things have actually happened here, and it's not just an ordinary abandoned farmhouse, if that makes sense.
Do this thing. Here's away, lad.
What's the view like down there, up there?
Very nice. Look, the higher you come, bro, the better, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Just switched over to the wide. Because that sun's sort of starting to pop now, to be fair. I didn't think we were going to get much. But that's quite nice, is that, to be fair. So, try to get like a sweeping view of it all. But I do think I need to get higher again. But it's to the point now where it's like, I need to worry up and never mind up where else is literally going to go.
The sun was poking through a tiny bit, but in my head I was like, this isn't going to stay here forever. So I started scrambling. I was like, where do I need to be? Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? I spent way too much time just relaxed, looking at the clouds, not expecting a sun. So when the sun came out, it was like, rush. Let's try and get as many shots as we can while we've got this little bit of sunlight.
I think we might have bagged the shot, possibly. I'm just experimenting now. Experimenting with getting the sunrise through the tree. Did say clear skies this morning, but kind of just shit. But it's alright. We still get some nice shots. It's not about the end, it's about the journey, innit?
I sort of came to the conclusion that was it. That's all the shot I'm going to get. I finally got that composition, but it just wasn't how I'd always imagined it. So another trip will have to be planned. But it's about the journey. It's not about the shot. Or at least that's what I tell myself when things like this don't go to plan. But it just wasn't that dramatic shot that I'd always dreamt of. Do you know what I mean? But that's when the sun just started to poke through the clouds. And that just gave me just the biggest boost of hope.
It's just started to pop.
And like I said, the sun wasn't exactly the big dramatic sunrise that I wanted, but it was like, alright, maybe we can get something better now. I was sort of satisfied with the shot that I'd gotten. It wasn't the shot I always dreamt of, but it was the composition that I always wanted to get. It just didn't have that big dramatic sky behind it, and it wasn't such a dramatic image that I always imagined. But I had that composition, and I was happy with that. But then suddenly, like seemingly out of nowhere, the sunlight quite literally exploded. Like it literally obliterated the entire landscape with this deep orange light. And oh my God, it was so surreal. So unexpected that we didn't have time to sort of adjust the camera equipment and the settings, and it genuinely couldn't really handle the amount of light that had just come out of nowhere.
I don't want to gas too soon, but I think we've got some absolute bangers there. About as fire as that sunrise, to be fair.
buckets and buckets of deep orange light. I've never experienced anything like it, like even to this day. I literally watched the sunlight with my own eyes come closer up the landscape, like I watched it light up the landscape until eventually that light hit my feet, and then I watched it rise up my body, and like I just eventually started glowing with this deep orange light. And I've never looked down and seen sunlight on myself like that before. Like it was a very, very surreal experience. I was quite literally engulfed, like I was on fire. Once the sun was up, I took full advantage of that morning light. I got the main composition that I wanted over and over and over again just to make sure I'd got it. And then I went all around the building trying to just capture different angles and unseen angles of it and just really make the most of this light. And honestly, I got some of my most favourite pictures on that day, and some of my most favourite pictures that I'm proud of, but it also encapsulates the memory like perfectly. This historic site brings thousands of people from across the world just to the countryside, all supposedly because Emily Bronte used to venture up here and eventually wrote it into her stories. I do have to mention though that it's only speculation that Emily Bronte actually used this location as an inspiration for Wuthering Heights. But that definitely does not take away from the feeling you get when you're up there. The feeling of the presence of the Bronte sisters and the history and all of that, and it definitely doesn't take away from that. If it is true that the late Emily Bronte did use this area, this location as inspiration for Wuthering Heights, then I can definitely see why. But I guess that's just a fact we'll never know, and just we'll leave that to the air of mystery.
Say what, lad? These last few days have been good for the soul.
Trust me. I'm bangers.
You are?
And the bangers you're getting.
100%, yeah. Got some absolute fire shots.
How you feeling?
Honestly, I want to say it again. You need to get up early and get outside, man. It's a different feeling you get. Like, you appreciate things so much more, Benno.
This trip was one of a few trips that weekend, and I cannot tell you how good it is for your mental health just to get outside early in the morning.
Pretty much wrapped up on the outside, I think. Like, I've been up there, down there, over there.
That's relative to the building being there.
I've sort of shot around the front half of it. The sunrise is kind of still beautiful, to be fair, but it's not popping anymore.
The sun was quite literally just slapping me in the face at this point, which told me two things. One, that the initial pop of the sunrise had kind of finished now. The daylight was just starting to come through. And two, it told me that I need to sort of take my head out the camera and just appreciate where I am and just take in the moment. Enjoy that moment of where I am. So I did just that.
Pretty sure I backed the money shot. I think like it's hard to tell really, but I think we got there. Yeah, happy, very happy.
I don't really believe in the term soul food, but it really, really is soul food. It's really good for the soul. In that moment, I don't think my mental health's been better, in a sense. Just complete peace and complete mental clarity. It was all from getting up early and like forcing myself to get outside, and like I didn't want to. Like obviously I did want to, but when you wake up that early in the morning, it's like, oh, I've got to hike for like an hour and a half. It's like, it's very like, no, stay in bed. But forcing yourself to get up and actually doing it, it's so much better than you could ever, ever, ever imagine.